Okay, hopefully everything works right. Okay. Hopefully everything looks good and works right, and we'll see. The volume's not too loud, I don't think, on the music. Probably go right there. Alright, we'll try that out. Heat advisory. Yeah, I know it's hot as hell out. It's a hot one out there, kids. It's dying out there, bro. Doing my daily grind, working outside all day. It's crazy when it's hot. Alright, so let's see. I'm trying a different category today. Don't know how this is going to work, but I'm going to have to check my sound, obviously, so I got to listen to myself real quick, like, make sure the music's not overpowering me, the fans aren't too loud, yada, yada, yada. Let's see. I'm trying a different category today. How this is going to work, but I'm going to have to check my sound. That's not bad. Okay, that'll work. And works for now. There we go. Let's see something here. Make sure everything's good. I don't know what to put for this. I'm gonna do activity. Guess we'll do that. So I usually put this under the little entertainment category, but I think I'm going to put this under education, and the reason being is because this is or how-to style. I don't know what category. I usually put it under entertainment, but maybe how-to. I'm not sure what to put this under. I am not sure. Let's find out. Let's see. I give it a shot. All right, we'll see if that works now. I'll try that. with that. Okay, cool. So, all right. Now we gotta. All right. So yesterday we made some cool stuff. What do we make? So we made soul count, and then we made the flutter frame. So we did 2 cards yesterday. We made flutter frame and soul count. Those were the 2 cards we made yesterday. They came out pretty good, so I like how they turned out. They turned out pretty awesome. I think we'll try this. I don't know how, but we'll give it a shot. Cool. That lemonade tastes, it's alright, it's kind of weird. I guess I'll try that. Trying to figure out what I'm trying to do here for this video. This is always tough. Don't know, but we'll give it a shot. I'll probably insert that there. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get all my stuff set right here. What's today, Friday? Oh. That's why. Okay. Well, that kind of blows. Didn't know that. All right. That answers that question. And all right, so well, I thought it was okay. I was wrong. That ought to do it. That ought to do it, kids. That's funny. That's pretty funny. I screwed that one up. Hey, we're here though. Alright. Yeah, I go with what I got there. Alright, cool. Well, sorry guys, I'm trying to do my stuff here for like putting, you know, putting everything out there. Okay, I think I'm done. I think I got everything. I just made a mistake because I thought something in it actually was wrong. Well, that answers that question. I made the boo-boo. I made the boo-boo on the wrong thing. Alright, well, cool. Anyhow. So, we created SoulCal and Flutterframe. Those are the two cards we did. And so we got those done. So, we're done with Flutterframe and we're done with SoulCal. And now, we gotta make something new. Gotta put my MJ glove. Gotta put my AA glove on. It's fine. Okay, so everything looks good. Checking some internet settings. All gone. Kind of sucked. I don't know why. I don't know why. The lemonade tastes very strange to me. Very strange. Tastes very, 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 very strange. Very strange. Well, I guess that'll do it. Cool. Now the real question is, what are we making today? I think these are cards I like trying. I still have to go through and do well, there's things I haven't made. I haven't made a Darsoto card. And where's Darkundo? And Darkundo. So I've made everything, I think. Oh, Total Blast I didn't make either. Got an eye on. Or Holokin. So Holokin, Darsoto, Total Blast, Windia. I did Diola. I did Diodon, I think. Darkundo, I know I didn't do. I think there's only a couple I didn't actually finish making as far as the cards. I think what I could do, let's see. I know we got all of our item cards done. That's not the right folder. There we go. So we got all these item cards done right here. There's a lot there. But now what I kind of need to do is kind of think of I thought making a ring, but I have one ring. And this is going to be a set piece. We did Flutterframe, Dire Iron Sword, and Sentinel's Embrace. Those are all done. Blazing Scarf, I have to make it a set with something else. Storm Grip is not done. And Ruby Pyramid Ring is also not done for the cards. Like I said, Darkundo and Darsoto. They basically evolve from Dar 8, but I have to figure out how to make those happen in terms of how's it gonna work. Whoops, I just changed song. Whatever, it's cool. So anyhow, back to what I was saying. Trying to see. All right, that works. Cool. So. So he's already dark, so trying to think of a different idea here. Darsoto and Darkundo. Well, they're based off of two fighters, obviously Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris, as you can tell. What was Chuck Norris's martial arts style again? I forgot what it was called. Let's see. I don't remember what it was called. It was Tang Sodo. I remember I looked this up and did some research, but I don't remember like what it was. I think it was Tang Sodo. That was like one he did or something like that. Yeah, I think that was it. I think that was what I remember why I named him Darkundo and Darsodo. So, see, I'm trying to figure out if Tang Sudo is more is it like more defensive or is it more attack based? I'm trying to come up with let's see. Ooh. So it's kind of balanced. Oh man. Okay, see, so I have to figure out what I do here because I'm trying to figure out how to. I'm gonna do Darsodo and Darkundo, but I gotta create a equipment piece that is going to make sense to change. So basically I need to change Dare into both of these, but I got to create an equipment piece that makes sense to that. So that's why I'm looking at like if one has higher defense or one has higher, you know, like what the equipment piece would do. So Darsodo is what we're trying to. I'm going to start with that one. So Tang Sudo, which is okay. So conceptually, it is a defensive martial art, so it's more defensive than. So, based off of that information, I'm going to figure out an item that maybe increases defense. So maybe Darsodo will have more defensive stats. And then Darkundo will have probably more offensive then. think that's how I'm going to do this. More defensive, more offensive. But now, it's a matter of creating an item that gives them that. So, now let's see if we can't find an item that kind of does that. Let's maybe create a stone or a... Oh, there's a little black dot there. I just noticed that. I think that's actually on the... Oh, that's just a layer that doesn't... See, I didn't... Don't be like me. Label your layers. Don't pull a me, guys. Alright, so... Oh, crap. How I started out, that's right. I don't know. So that's how I start. I base my sketch off of that. That's how Bruce Lee stands. Hi, honey, love you. So I gotta figure out how to... Okay, so this is where I have to figure out how to do this. Okay. It's not like it's hard, per se. It's just trying to think of something unique and different. I think I have an idea. I gotta think of some items. So conceptually, what we're gonna do is use Darsudo, is how I should call him. Because Darsudo's martial arts style comes from Tangsudo, which is conceptually a defensive martial art. So he's going to do what's called... I'm going to do an equipment summon, I think. So I'm going to make that equipment item give him more defense to change into this form. So I have to make sure that Darate has an item on him that turns him more defensive with more defense, and then it'll change him into Darsudo. So with that, let's try to think of an item. I thought about trying to do their like gi pants, but I want to try something different because this is a light one. And then Darkundo's a dark, but Darate, the one they both come from, is already a dark type. So it'd be hard to make Darkundo go to a dark type when Darate's already a dark type. So with that being said, I'm going to have to think of an idea that turns them in, and I think I'm going to increase the defense. So gotta think of an idea now. Let's see. Oh, let's see. So I'm trying to get the idea here. I want to make it make sense. I mean, a shield could do it, but I feel like that just doesn't make sense with it as a martial arts style. So I feel like let me see. So I'm doing some research. Maybe it's a style. I don't know. See, I thought, like I said, I thought about using the gi, but I don't need to use the gi. This is tough. This one's tough. It's a light creature. It has higher defense because of its martial arts style. And that's what I have to base it off of. So I have to conceptualize this idea of getting the correct kind of defense on the Mon. Oh, where do I go from here? I need like 2 different stones. Maybe they're stones. Let me see. What about a stone called the Tang Soto stone? And the other one's called, oh God, what was Bruce Lee's martial arts style? Jeet Kune Do. Or I could call it the Soto stone. I'm going to do 2 stones. The Soto stone. And maybe they're accessories. Yeah, like you could do that. I could do it, and then it'll change. So I think I want to do 2 different stones. One's called... Alright, so I have to try and draw 2 different stones. So, I want to try 2 different stones. And we can think of it kind of like an accessory. Right? It's an accessory item. You hold on to a stone as your accessory. So, what I need to do is start a new file. And I think this is the one. Actually, I'm going to go the long way. Alright, so now... so now, let's see. See, now I'm going to look at a stone to kind of, like, see, here's some stones. Painting, landscape, Minecraft, pebbles, ring, pendant color. Small stone. I don't know what to call this. Let me see something. Let's see what a thunderstone looks like in Pokemon. So that's like a thunderstone, right? Okay. But this isn't that. This is like... Alright, so that's a thunderstone. So I'm looking like a small stone. I'll just do clear. Kind of. different colors, maybe? So I could do like a round stone if I want to, right? That's pretty easy to do. But I don't want to do a round stone. Gemstones. Kind of want to do a gemstone, but kind of not. Like I want to do a stone of something on my own. I kind of got an idea now. I kind of like this one right here. Or even this one. This one. Okay, I got an idea. So, I'm going to save this picture really quick. And we're going to put it on the desktop. And let's just do new. Now, I'm going to use this as a reference to try and kind of achieve what I'm trying to do here. So, I'm going to drop it in. And I'm going to take out... I think I'm going to take out this stone right here. This stone and this stone. This blue stone and this purple stone, right? So, what we're going to do is we're going to crop this picture. We're going to crop it. So, oh, I screwed that up though. I'm just going to do this. Let's do this. Really? Oh. I have to rasterize this. Well, I just have to flatten the image, I guess. Background doesn't matter, so let's unlock that. So actually, let's do this. I need to flatten just this one image, right? It's on a smart object right now, but I don't need that. So, rasterize layer. There we go. So now if I do this, I should be able to start taking stuff out. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to take out all of this section here. The only thing I want are those two stones. And I'm going to try to separate them. Alright, so now I got these two stones, right? And then we're going to try to, like, put them on independent layers. So Control C. And we're going to delete that one. We're going to add a new layer. Go Control V. Boom. So now we have two independent layers, right? So I have one stone here. One stone here. So now I'm going to try to do them as two independent layers. So let me see something. Select inverse. Let's see. Oh. There it goes. Nope. I don't think that's going to work. Oh, that could work. And I'm not too worried about using the stone. I just want them is, like I said, this is my reference. So I'm going to use a stone as my reference. And this one's also going to be my second reference. So let's just hit delete. That works. Cool. And I don't care too much about this. because these are just reference points that I'm going to use these stones for. It kind of loses its... Alright. We'll just keep this the way it is. Oops. What's this do? That's just generative fill. Background. Alright, so we're just going to keep this. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start using the purple stone, okay? So the purple stone, I'm going to use. So now, what I like to do, we're going to call this reference 1. Alright? And this is reference 2. Purple stones are first stone, so let's create a new layer. And then we'll put these in a layer and call them references. We're going to call this light stone, or no, Soto. Sorry, we got to call this the Soto stone. So Soto stone. We're going to sketch. We'll start with that. Soto stone sketch. That's what we're going to call this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to try to conceptualize the idea using the stone. And the way I tend to do this I don't know why I just did that. Okay, cool. Anyhow, so I'm going to take... I like to use a blue pen, right? So what I like to do is go to my pen, come here. Now on my tablet, when I use it, it's different. So here, it's probably in a general brush. It's just not the same brush that I typically use. It's not going to matter because I'm just sketching out this layer. And I'm going to do 7 pixels. Alright, so let's see if that's... It's really dark. But like I said, it doesn't matter. Well, let's try going 5 pixels on this. Let's try this. And see, I don't like how dark that is. That could work. I might just have to go with that. But it's probably not really going to have a large edge around the outside of it because it is a stone, so it's probably going to have more of this glare, or it's going to have a loss of an edge. So let's see. So this comes up right here, right? Does this wrap around? So it kind of has this flat edge. It's kind of flattish right here, and then it wraps this way, and then it's rounder right here, cool, rounder right here, and then it just comes down, and this comes like this, something like this, kind of circles off, comes down. So that's kind of what we have going here. So let me take this out. This one shouldn't be too hard to do, but this is kind of the basis idea here. Straight, down, circled, circled, up, right? So we'll take that. And I could start looking at this, right? So there might be a little bit of an edge that's going to happen here. We'll see. I kind of like doing this right here, actually. I could try that. See, I'm just trying random stuff here. I do like that more. And I see those highlights on it, so maybe right here, and maybe right there. Could try something like that. Maybe this little edge right there. We could try something like that. So this is not, I don't have to worry about a lot of detail right now. This is just coming up with the idea first. I think this works pretty good. So we're going to start with this. This is going to be our reference, like I said. So now what I got to do is add another layer. And I'm going to save this as, I'm going to save it to here. We're going to go to, this is an equipment. And we're going to call this the Sodo Stone. So this is the Sodo Stone, right? So we're going to have two different stones. One's going to be called the Sodo Stone. The other one's going to be called, it's called Darkundo, so maybe the Kundo Stone. I don't know yet, though. We'll see how it makes its way out of there, you know? So we start with this. Ink layer. So now the easiest way we're going to do this, and what I like to use, is I like to go all the way down. I'm trying to keep the art style very consistent, right? It's not a rush draw brush, it's a Pokemon brush actually. And it's called the Sprigatito brush, which I actually like quite a bit. There we go. Good old Sprigatito. So now I have to actually increase what's called the smoothness to keep it smoother now. To keep my lines a little smoother in terms of what I'm trying to do. So now I gotta try to keep this smooth. Oops. I think I screwed that up. Flip to black, right? So now I'm just gonna try to oof. Let's take my eraser tool. So no. So now that looks a little better. I think I have to make this dark still. I have to come in with this. There we go. So now that looks a little better. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I'm using my smoothing here, so we're going to come in. Oh, that's the eraser tool, sorry. Not going to do much there. Boom. Boom. And this is bright, so you're just going to wrap around like that. Cool. See, now we have our ink layers. Doesn't look like much, but this is how you base it off of. So now I got to start here, right? So now what I got to do is we're going to have the stone. And I think I could fix this edge too. See how that looks right there? So I think I can actually smooth this to be a little rounder right there. So I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to erase some of this right here. And then we're going to try to make it wrap around into it. Go back here. Take some of this edge. There we go. And it's pretty close to what I got. So there we go. Now we have to add, right now it just looks like a weird rock or the lines, right? So it just looks like it's holding the line bases, but we're going to fix that by, I'm looking at this rock. Alright, so we're going to take the dropper tool, and I think that either this dark purple, right? It's either this or this like lighter purple is probably the base color. I'm gonna, and this could just be a light thing, right? So let's try over here. So like if there's a lot of that darker purple, I think this dark purple is actually like its base color. So what I'm going to do is take that color, right? I'm going to take this, I'm going to click on this right here. And now what I got to do is add a color layer to the bottom. So that I come to my dropper bucket dropper tool, hit Control Z, whoops, Control D. And that part messed up. So we're going to hit Control Z, Control Z, Control D, and what I want to do is come back here, come back to the ink layer, hit outside of it, hit Select Inverse, right? Then we're going to come in with my paint bucket tool, come back to this layer, hit Control D, and then now we have the correct thing we need. So now, what's probably going to happen is you're going to not see a lot of this edge. I'll probably erase some of it, the edge out. I'm just kind of adding these little touches right now to see where it kind of falls in place. So I'm going to start with that. Alright, so now, and I just wanted to kind of use the shape. Didn't really want to go based off the shape entirely, right? So this is just my reference point. So now, I think I'm going to have to do something a little different to kind of keep fitting the style of art that I have. For instance, Darate, Darkundo, and Darsoto. So, oh, and I don't want to make this actually purple. I messed up, actually. I'm going to actually do this. Where did I put the... So here's my rock, right? I actually don't want to make it that color. I'm going to make it like a yellowish. And that's kind of what I'm going to go based off of. I'm going to increase the saturation. Not really the lightness. Let's just colorize it. This might not work. No, it's not going to work. I'm looking for this yellow. This might be as close as I kind of get to trying to get this yellow color that I want. This is going to be, I should probably put that on there too. I think this is, it's going to be the same, but I'm just going to have to do it in this yellow color, right? So let's just get rid of this hue and saturation layer. Now, I'm going to go, I wonder, actually, that I could do this. It's still got this green. I don't really want a green, right? I'm looking for this yellowish color. I think that's probably not right. Kind of like that. Kind of yellowish, greenish, right? There we go. But my problem is I don't want to increase the light on it. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to come in and I'm going to go with like a yellow like this. And the reason I want to do this is because it is a light creature and it has like a yellow tint around it. And this is Darsoto. See, a matter of fact, what I could do is take the dropper tool, take that same yellow, and actually drop it in as a color. See, now it's got like this brighter hue of yellow to it. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to have to do a few things different here. So, I'm going to have to go Control-C, Control-V. We're going to go Color. And we're going to call this one Shadow. So I'm going to have to do a few different things here. So this goes there, right? What I'm going to have to do is put a hue and saturation layer on it. I'm going to have to mask it to it. Bring down the lightness. And I'm probably going to go pretty dark here. And now, what I'm going to probably have to do is come in with different shades of yellow and do it slightly different than how I typically do it. And there's a reason for this. Seeing you can see it kind of bleeds off the outside there with that. There's an easy fix for that. You just come to the ink layer, you do this. Why can't I get that? Let's just see if it's done now. That kind of sucks. I don't know why it's not really taking. That's fine. That's fine. We'll come in and we'll just erase off the edge. But basically, yeah. So, instead of making it a purple, we're going to do a yellowish rock. And I didn't want it one for one. I'm just kind of using it as a reference point for what I want. It's really the color kind of pattern, but I want to do my own kind of color pattern. I could make this a little thinner. I mean, I could make it thinner here. I might. Let's try that really quick. Let me go back here. Nah, you know what? I think I'm going to keep it where I got it. Alright, so now I have to take my pen tool and I'm going to go to raw straw brushes, and I like to use this airbrush, right? Bring it down. So I could probably go in about the 30s with this. Alright, so now what I do with this airbrush tool is I want to come in and I can see that there's light off the back, underneath here. There's a highlight there, but we'll get to highlights in a second. There's light here. So basically, I'm going to come through and we're going to do this. Oh, why is it not doing it? There we go. I have to go on this hue and saturation layer, right? This is why we create a mask, because now what I do is I come in and you can see that starts happening. But the other thing is I'm going to turn off the smoothing because I want to be able to come in and do however I feel fit for that, right? But see, now the problem is I think I could bring this brush up again a little more. I'm going to have to see something here too. Where's my brush? Or my... Let me see something. This is probably it. No. I feel like this is kind of pen settings. Roller touch. Work area. Screen. Pen. Trying to not my maybe I'm just tripping. It's too much. Whoops. Whoops. Alright, so like I said, there's this point of light that wraps right here. And I'm not going to try to go too dark with it. But I definitely am still going to have to come in with other colors to do some of the other things I want to do with it. And I see it wraps literally. It's just a whole slew of light right here. I might actually decrease this a little more than I think. That looks a little better, I think. I think that was too much the way I had it. So now I know there's going to be a little bit here, right? And we'll play with this too. And if I don't like it, I'll just come up with something a little different than what I wanted. Key to always remember is black hides and white, or sorry, white hides and black gets rid of it. This is a different way of shading because this isn't, I'm not trying to be too realistic about it either. So I have this, and see, it might work better with it off. See, it might look pretty good because now it looks more like a stone. See that? But now it's going to be a matter of adding highlights and shadows, and I'm going to have to do different tones of color here to give it more of what I'm trying to find here. So like I think, since I'm right here, right? I don't think there's a lot more I can really add. Like I need to add more colors, but the shadows don't matter as much. So like, I think I kind of have to come in here. But I don't think I actually need this long line. So what I'm going to do is put my line. And what I'm actually going to do is Control C, Control V. We're going to copy this layer. And what I'm going to do is take this layer. I'm going to drag it down. We're going to hide this layer. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to take this layer and we're going to start coming in. And I'm going to take my eraser tool. And this is now going to become like this. Start erasing it out a little bit. Let's see, once you start doing that, start taking out some of these hard little edges. you start getting something a little more cooler. So take some of that out. I come in here. I'm going to take some of this edge off. Like I said, because my light source, when I'm using that rock, that light is coming from this edge. So I might as well just take it out. And I kind of got to fade this in a little bit. Now, I don't think I want to take this out entirely, but I really want to come in, right? And do you see now, you see what's happening? I'm starting to build this cool little stone, but it's not the same stone. So right here, kind of want to take a little bit of this out. And I'm going to leave it dark over there because, see, I'm going to kind of leave it dark on that point there. So now, see what we're getting here? We're starting to get this cool little stone. So let me save it. And I'm going to make it brighter by adding probably a different shade of yellow off of this yellow edge, right? So I'm going to add a brighter shade of yellow. And like I said, I'm trying to theme it to Darsoto because Darsoto is a light mon. So there's going to be these stones, and that's where we're going to go from. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to add another color layer over the color layer and then keep the shadow layer above all those color layers so I know. So the way I do this is I'm going to add a new layer, and I'm going to call this let's call it yellow shades, or let's call it yellow shades. It's a different shade of yellow. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to come in, I'm going to take my dropper tool, I'm going to take that same yellow, right? I'm going to bring it up so it's brighter. So I'm going to bring it up like right there. I'm going to come in right here, right off this edge. Go back to my brush tool, right? And now I'm going to come back. I'm going to use my ink tool. I'm going to go here, or ink tool, sorry. I'm going to use my magic wand tool. Come back to my brush. Come back to the yellow shade. And now I'm going to shade lighter inside that zone. I can't really tell if it's there or not. No, this is blending to the outside. So what I have to actually do is come here, back to this tool. Whoops. Nope, come on. Select inverse. So now it should push it to that inside, right? So let's redo. Select inverse. Now this should work. Now this yellow shade should, and it's not really, I don't really see it. So you can't really see it there, and I think that's because I'm going to put it above. There we go. Now I'm going to put it above. So let me erase this because I know I have too much. So let me go back, and I'm going to just wrap around right here. And I'm going to do it all the way across right here. And this is kind of going to be like my highlight, right? Let's see, so. And it's kind of very faint, but. We're going to do it like this. it's not really too bright either. So if I hit Control D, well, not yet. So I'm gonna look at this, and it is a white, but I'm gonna come in with a white. I might try a white. I might try the white layer. This might work better actually. Okay, now if I hit Control D, look at that. See that? So I got that tone, and I also need to put it right there. I'm gonna have to come in here with some highlights where I want them. And these are kind of highlights, but I'm gonna need different shades. There's a darker purple, lighter purple. I don't think it's the same kind of purple either, so let's see. Take a look here. This is like a gray, so maybe I should make it white. That's like a brighter purple, darker purple. So it looks like we have, that's a pink, but I'm not really looking for pink, so I got a white. And this is like a darker purple again. So I can see that there's a lot of darker purples that are almost the same. So there's like 3 different shades in there, right? So I'm gonna go maybe with 3 different shades, but I'm gonna come back. Gonna grab the, maybe I might just make it white. Let me try white. Let me just go straight up white and try it as a highlight. So let me try just white here and see if maybe that makes a difference. It does for the highlights, I think. Yeah, it gives me the highlights, but it doesn't give me this color I'm looking for, right? It's like you can see it gives me that highlight, but if you look at this, right, and you look at this, this adds more tonality to it. It makes it look more like it's perfect with that rock. Now, I could still put the highlights in there, but I'm definitely going to have to tone that down quite a bit. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Alright, so I'm going to stick with this yellow that I have because I like it. But I do kind of feel like I can blend that a little more. And see, I put it above the shadow layer, but that shadow layer really is just so overpowering over that. And that's because I know why now. I know I'm an idiot. Sorry. I'm going to just smudge it. So I'm going to come in and I'm just literally going to smudge into this like this. Because I don't want this super hard edge either, right? So I kind of smudge. This will help the blend a little bit. So let's kind of smudge it. And you could do this different ways, but this is how I'm going to do it. So I could draw on another layer, right, and make the colors blend in. That's probably the way you want to do it, really. But I think this works pretty good for what I'm trying to do. It's still got this rough edge, so I might have to do it that way. Might actually have to come in and actually draw onto the color layer. I'm going to try this. I am going to put this above the color layer. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy this layer. Control C, Control V. I'm going to hide this layer. I'm going to copy this layer. I'm going to hide this layer. And now what I'm going to do is put this layer above it. And that shine, right? I'm going to have to hide the shadow layer. So, I'm going to have to take these two layers, this color layer and this layer, I'm going to have to merge them together. I'm going to go Control E so I don't lose anything. And I just want to see something. Because now if I put the shadow layer, I'm going to have to go Control C, right? I'm going to go Control V. Oops. It's not going to be the same. Actually, I can still do it. Whoops. It kind of works. It does kind of give me what I'm looking for. Alright, so I'm going to come in and what I'm going to do, I'm going to hide the shadow layer really quick. And I'm going to grab my dropper tool. I'm going to come here. I'm going to take my brush tool. I don't know how this is going to work out, but see that right there? Kind of slightly come in. What I'm doing is I'm blending that in with the color itself. So now if I put that shadow layer back on, there you go. See, now that line's blending in a little better. It's finding its own way inside for itself. So we're trying to blend this as like a cohesive colors and kind of stone, you know? So that's what we are at right now. So I could do the same thing here because I do have that layer. But before I even make this layer, I'm going to just stick with my color until I add my shadow layer. So I know there's going to be like 3 or 4 different shades of yellow tones I'm going to throw in here. So I know that this is a darker purple, right? Right in this area, this is darker. There's a lot of dark purple in here. A lot of dark purple. So what I could do is take my dropper tool, take the same yellow, come over, drag this into like the dark gold, come in with my brush, and I think I come here and I'm just gonna kind of bring this up because there's a lot here. You know, there's a lot of dark. Like, there's a lot of dark sitting right here. Let's do this too. Gotta select inverse. Let's go back to my color layer. Now let's go back. And I know this is pretty dark back here. See, this is a really darker edge. There is some darkness off here. It's like right up in here. There's some darkness. And it's pretty dark right here. And I'm not worried because I'm going to come over. So there's a lot of dark right here. So this is like one giant dark circle. So we're going to do that. Really kind of darken this up. It's like a brownish yellow, right? So I know that's really dark, right? So what I'll do is I'm going to try to blend this in a little more now, right? So I come back, take my tool, come here, go back to my brush, come and kind of blend some of this back in there off of the edge. So kind of like this. Try to blend it in there a little more. And I'll go with something like that. I think too. So I have to approach these a little different than I would. And I don't need to get too realistic with this, like I said. This is just... And then... So... There's a dark edge. Here, there is a dark edge that sits underneath, right here. So there's this dark edge that sits underneath here. And it does wrap back. And I'll see what happens when I add the shadow layer, but that one does wrap underneath. And then right here where it kind of puffs in, right here. And that touches to that, so this actually wraps around to it. And that goes there. It's just like this kind of dark line around. Touches. Comes out. It does this. So now I can try something like that. This is kind of just a different shade of yellow again. And now, oops. So take back this shade of yellow, right? We're just going to kind of here. Oh, don't want to do that. Do this. Kind of do something like that. Pull this up a bit. Alright, so now I'm going to do that. Now what I'm going to do is Control C, delete this. Control V, undo that one. Now I have to put this back on there. See now, see why I did that now? Now when I actually have this shadow layer, it creates this bolder edge and there's a shadow there. That's actually starting to happen. I think what I could do is I'm going to bring this up more. I think that looks really good right there. But I still need to focus on blending this a little more. So the way I do that, blend up here. Just trying to get this blended off a little bit. What I think I need to do is, there we go. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Let's see. Boom. Yep. And now I'm going to bring this down. Like right in there. Alright, cool. Now I'm going to come back. I'm going to grab this again. And what I'm going to do is come off, grab this edge again, come back, start hitting right here. Start coming back, hitting this. Bring it down. Come in here. And then I'm going to come in here a little bit. I think right here. Just a little bit. Cool. Now, slap that shadow layer back on. Delete this. And then Control C, Control V. And we're going to grab this. Go bring this up. Whoops. Control T. There we go. D. Enter. I need to go back to this ink layer, right? We're going to grab around it. Come here, hit delete. Come this one, hit delete. Control D. Alright, so now, see, we're starting to create this stone that I want. But I got to slap some highlights in it. But we're getting some good lighting, some good shading. Better save my project. So now, what I got to do is come in, and I'm looking again. I know there's a dark edge here. This might not be so right, but I'm kind of giving it my own flair by keeping it this way too. So where's my brush tool again? Actually, you know what? I'll bring it down. What the hell did I just do? That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, I don't like that because then let me just smudge it. That's what I'll do. That kind of works. I'll go with that. I kind of like that. So here's what we're going to do. Now, see this right here? What I gotta do, come back to the shadow layer, come to this layer right here. I'm gonna have to do a few things. Come back, grab this, come here, and I know there's that one. I also know that there's this one that I added when I put that yellow tint in. It's just the shadow covers it, right? And I can see that color there. So now I'm getting where I want to be. So now I got to do like 3 little marks there. It's a little mark here. So the way I do this is I know there's going to be a little bit of right here. Okay. I'm going to come up. There's a huge here. So a little dot right here. And then there's that big arcing mark, right? So right, we got this. I'm gonna do this, kind of put a little bit of it back. Alright. Come back here. Drag it back down. Gonna have that circle. Then I got a few right here. Try that. And then see, I need to also, I think, add something else to it, because I feel like it still needs its own little details to it, right? Like, it's a light stone, but I gotta figure out what I want to make that as a light stone, how I want to approach that and do that. And it looks like a stone right now, obviously. So these are just areas where I know I'm gonna have my highlights. This is a big highlight. And there's another highlight right here. I think this will work. I think that's probably enough highlights on there. But I want to do something else with it. I want to put something else there. What I could do is almost make it transparent in color. And what I'm going to do is bring the opacity down a little bit on both. And this might work out for me. It might not. But we're going to try different things here. So I'm going to try like a... We're going to go 50. Or 55. We'll try. And I don't know if I want to do that. You know what I could do? I don't know if I like that. I think I kind of like keeping its tone here. Let me try something. So let's try a flare. So let's try to take like a flare, right? I still gotta touch highlights in here too. That's definitely not gonna be big enough. Still not gonna be big enough. 5,000 is probably too much for what I'm trying to do. Let's try 1,000. This might work. I'm gonna have to rotate this. But what I'm gonna do is it's kind of got to show through. So I'm going to go below for now. And I think I have to make this maybe a white. I'm going to try a white. Okay. Now, it's underneath, obviously, so it's not... It's right here. I could try to make it bigger. Oh, I screwed up there. Okay, so now let's take that off. I was trying to make this feel like it was like inside the stone, right? So I think I'm gonna have to, if I want to make it feel like that, I have to bring down the opacities. But it just still does not really look right. I might have to put it above, right? Then I might have to put it above maybe this layer. No. I might actually have to put it above that, but the problem is I lose that. Maybe if I bring the opacity down. Okay, it's gonna feel more like it's in there now with the opacity down, but the problem with that layer is the lens flare. I could try a different one. That looks really cool. Alright, so that might work. That's huge. I almost want it to feel like there's just something inside the stone. See, there's that lens flare, right? It's damn, that thing's maxed out. Try a different one. Too much. That's huge. This could work. So, see, I like that. Now, you want it to feel like something's in that stone that, you know, that makes some change. Like it's not just like a basic stone. So, what I'm going to do is try a different brush. So I thought the lens flare would be good there because it's light, right? So I'm trying to shine this light through, but it kind of doesn't give me what I'm trying to do. I mean, I could try fire, but that's not really what I'm looking for either. Palm tree, space brush, splatter brush, spring brush. Not really what I'm looking for. Okay, so tree winner. Stone. Ooh. That kind of... Okay. Might have found what I wanted here. That's kind of cool. It gives it this really cool effect on the rock. Yeah, okay. So we're going to add this layer above. And now we have to just drop it. Well, all I got to do is do this. And it should... I mean... How am I going to do this? That was really cool. Maybe dissolve it in there. No, normal. Screen. Soft light. Overlay. Nope, we're going to overlay it. Okay, that looks really cool. So now, I kind of have what I need. But, got to go back to this ink layer, right? And we're going to go around it. And then everything outside that layer, we're just going to delete. I don't think I have to do that. hit Control D, boom, cool. See, now it has this cool effect to it because it's like a shining kind of rock. It doesn't look the same as it once did when we started. It doesn't. So I went from basic looking rock to this more galactic filling rock, right? Cool. Now that kind of gives me an essence of light that I'm trying to shoot for here. Alright, so now we'll call this sparkle. We'll call it spark. So now what I need to do is color, shadow. Alright, so now what I need to do is I have all these here. I'm going to put these in and put original layers. Spelled that wrong, it's fine. I don't know what the hell this layer was. Oh, it was a highlight layer. Alright, so now we can put this here and see it look cooler, like with a black background. So like if I add this and then I take my paint bucket tool, because it really makes it pop forward. We'll try to create a different background for it. I typically have these ones I'll show you that I use, but I'm not going to use them. I'm going to try something different here. Alright, so with that being said, now we got this sparkle looking rock, right, with these like stars on them because it creates this cool rock that makes it kind of glimmer. Alright, now I gotta add some highlights. So I'm gonna make these actually go under the spark. So all these spots you see here, I'm gonna place highlights. Some of them I might not, but we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna come in, gonna grab a new brush tool, go back to raw straw brushes, then I'm gonna go back to my airsoft brush, drag this bad boy way down there, come in on my new layer, and right here we're gonna start. Oh, I screwed that up, sorry, don't follow that part. Add the white. See, this will start giving it more shine. So now put a little bit right there, and then this we know is humongous of a highlight. A white dot there, there, there. Whoops. Highlight right here. I'll highlight the edge. I'm gonna put a little bit of highlight off here too. Now, so we have that. Now what we gotta do is take that white, right? Bring the opacity down. Could look better above the spark. Not. So I'm gonna try something different with these highlights. I'm gonna go soft light really quick. Bring them back up. Maybe not soft light. Maybe try hard light. Bring it down to 40s. It might just look good in normal. Okay, so in that case, okay, so I like what I got so far. Now, what we're going to do, I think 30 to 40% is a good part. No, I think I have to keep it there. I think I do have to kind of come in and still see, because if I bring it up, I'm going to try 50%. See what happens at 50%. 50% looks pretty good. So now, see, I got this rock that I want, and it's coming out pretty good. Use this as my reference, but I'm now creating something more of what I'm trying to do, because if I take it off, see, it looks just like a normal rock. I also have to do this because I did do that. We got to delete everything outside both of these because I didn't think about that. So now, what I'm going to do is hide this layer. Reference, we're going to hide that. All right, Control D, Control S. Cool. So now this is what we got going. So I have this rock, right? Now I have to slap some sort of background. So I could draw a background, I could try a gradient background, I could try a lot of different things here. So I'm going to start with a gradient, and I'm going to go with maybe let's try an orange first, right? So let's add a new layer, drag it all the way down, and this is going to be our background layer. I don't really like that. I don't really like that orange layer so much, so let's start trying some different ones. And its color doesn't really, it kind of takes away from the color, because in the color theory that I thought about, it just kind of looks cool. See, that kind of helps out. That looks okay. The grays look alright. And the colors really mesh together. That looks really cool. See, that kind of makes it. I kind of like that blue. That light blue might work out pretty good. That looks not terrible. But let's try some blues. Let's go for some blue gradients, right? And I gotta get everything centered here too. It looks very plain sitting there because we gotta. I don't mind that. Let me get everything. Whoops. Let me get everything moved. to the center. There's our center point. Cool. Now, we got to go back to this gradient, and we're going to test out different gradients still. Now we could try this too. This might look cooler. Maybe a circleized gradient. Got that one. That looks cool. Now it kind of looks like it's moving. So I might do this because it looks now like, okay, I have another idea. So I think what would look cool here are some sort of movement lines. So an easy way for me to do that is to take my rectangle tool or even my line tool, right? We're going to add another layer. And we're going to just put some lines here. And then, I don't know why I have to go white. Let's just use my pen. Go back here. Take this. And I'm just going to draw. I'm going to actually set this to high smoothing. So now, I just come. Let's try this. So let's go here, 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 and we'll try that. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go filter, blur, we're going to do motion blur. So and we're going to do an angle, right? So let's do 45 degrees. I can't really tell. I don't see a blur, motion blur. And not really. It's not really filter, blur, motion blur. That kind of works. So that's kind of working in the favor there, right? And now, what I'm going to do is I feel like I need something else. I think this needs an outline around it to help bring it forward, right? So we're going to select inverse. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our paint bucket tool and we're going to go below the color layer. We're going to go above this. We're going to hit color, hit enter, Control D, Control D, Control T. Okay, so now that's what we got. We're going to hit enter. We're going to go filter, blur. We're going to do a Gaussian blur. And it really helps kind of push that rock forward. Another thing we can do is we can actually go filter, Gaussian blur on the background. Filter, blur, blur. We're going to go Gaussian blur. We're going to rasterize the layer. I mean, it kind of doesn't really matter. Let's just hit cancel. I might have to keep it like that. Maybe some splatters. I kind of have to play with this, right? So let's kind of play with it and see what we end up with. I mean, it could look cool in a space. Let's try to go black. So let me try this. I'm going to go back to the bucket tool. I'm going to do a gradient. And I'm going to try some blacks. Always try basic. It kind of looks cool, but I think it does kind of throw it off a little bit. That might be too much. Alright, let me try this. Blues. Here's this dark blue. Let's see. Purples. Kind of brings it forward. This one's tough. Let's just try a straight gray background, and then we're going to try this. And I am trying different things here. I'm trying to do different things here. Okay, I have to bring this way the hell up. And see, that's kind of starting to look cooler. This little space thing I got going on. I think, if I'm being honest, I think this could be a darker color. I think this just needs to be, well, this could work actually. No, I don't want it straight. I just want to do like a color like this. I'm going to make my light come down from here. And now I lose. I feel like I lost the little stars I had. We'll just go with this. We'll delete this layer. Now I'm going to add a new layer. Now let's try this. Oh, there. That kind of looks cool. There we go. See? Now I'm getting somewhere. That looks really cool. So now it looks like it's... Alright. Now, I got these colors. So I got this gradient, right? So I'm going to try to take from this gradient. Come here, down to this. So I just need to start kind of finding... It's just all about playing with what you got. Trying different things. I see those stars blend too much, so what might look cool. Actually, and see, that kind of helps out. That looks cool too. So I'm kind of getting where I need to be. But I don't like how that looks cool. I think that works really well. It brought it forward, right? So now we got this. So it looks really cool, I think, like this. I tried the first time, remember we were trying the movement, but this is actually kind of pushing it to look really cool. I also don't know, though, there's another problem here. I mean, you're not really going to see too much of it anyways when it... Let me see something. I think I like that. I think that looks pretty cool. I think it looks pretty solid right now, right? Okay, so now... Yeah, I think this is pretty solid looking. And I still kept the same consistent art style I've been doing. So now we got our Soto stone, right? So now we have this Soto stone. I'm going to try one more thing. Stars yellow. I spelled that wrong. Oh well. Stars white. And we're going to do stars. What was this layer? Oh. Outline. So cool. Now the way we started and now where we're at. We got into the stone. Created the stone. I'm going to do one more thing. Don't know how it's going to look, but I'm going to give it a shot. I don't know if these are... Oh, that's lightning. It's too much. Let me put it above. It's huge. I don't want that big of a lens flare. We'll try a different one too. Nah, I kind of feel like it just takes away too much. Let's try a different color. Let's just go straight white. Nah, see, I think that's too much. Yeah. I think it takes away from too much of it. That looks kind of cool. That kind of looks cool. Wait a minute. That kind of looks cool. Let me try something. No, I kind of like that. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it kind of like brings it out just a little more. Try a different lens flare. Screw it. That's way too much. Different one? That's gonna be huge. I like that last one I had though. That kind of helps, I think, like I don't know if I like this though. I think that looks really cool. Oh. Oh, huh. Huh. Wait a second. That kinda. Huh. That kind of makes it look really cool. It doesn't look like it. Oh, yeah. I think that'll work. Taking that down. I want to do... I'm going to do one more thing. Flares, we'll call it. Where is this? So I do have them there. Let me take the flares off for a second. No. See, I have that, but I'm trying to figure out now where to... It's that right there, but I thought increasing the saturation might help it, but it... Maybe increasing the brightness? Let's try the brightness. So, I could try to slap a brightness layer on. Not really. So, let's try levels. I'm trying to make those but I don't think they're gonna pop through anymore. I think they're just kind of sitting where they're at, you know. I think it'll be fine. I still like the lens flares, how they come off, you know. I wish I could get this to hit a little more, but it's fine. I think this will work. Now, I think what we need... No, I'm just going to get rid of that. What's this one? I'm going to get rid of that one. Control S. Then we're going to do a different layer. And we're going to do an adjustment here. I'm going to increase the sat... Nah. I don't know if it needs an increase in saturation, but I do think I do need to adjust the contrast. Bring this up. I'm gonna go and bring down the brightness. Probably let's go -20. Bring up the contrast. So I want it bright but not too bright, right? So I think also filter blur. I'm going to go Gaussian blur. Convert to smart object. That doesn't really blur. So maybe filter blur. Oh, whoops. Filter blur. Gaussian blur. That might actually work. Stars white, filter blur, Gaussian blur. Oh, that really brings that forward. I think they're blurred just a hair too much though. So let me go back. We're gonna go back to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Instead of 8.6, I'm gonna just drop to 4. Because I don't want them fully blurred. Blur. Gaussian blur. Okay. And that looks pretty cool. I think it helps bring that stone forward. It's got some blur. It looks like it's got some movement. That looks pretty cool. What do you guys think? Looks pretty solid? I think that looks pretty awesome, pretty solid. Got a really solid look here. I think this looks pretty solid so far, you know. So I like this. Cool. Now, I mean, if I take the outline off, it looks meh, but you put the outline on, it looks so much better. I think maybe take the outline down just a little bit though. Maybe to 80. Yeah, I think that helps out. So, cool. There we go. The Soto stone. Right? Save as. Here. And this is going to be an equipment. And we're going to save it. There we go. Now we got a cloud save and our other save of the Soto stone. Now, it's for Dar Soto. So this will turn Darate, because it has high defense, into Dar Soto, and it's a light stone. Dark stone not going to matter so much. So now, remember I have those references I used. So I have both references, both of these. I'm going to come back and use this one now. So I use this as my last kind of reference, right? So now I need to come back and use this one as my next reference, right? So I kind of gave myself this cool looking stone that we have now, that we got drawn. And we're going to use it to change. This is an equipment piece. And now we have that as an equipment piece to get Dar Soto card made. Pseudo, however you want to say it. Anyhow. I like this. It turned out pretty cool. So, there we go. Oh. I think I need a second to kind of just relax for a minute. It was a lot of drawing. I mean, it's kind of cool, you know? I'll show you where we started. I tried different ones. We'll get rid of these fills. I don't remember what this was. Gonna get rid of it. So the way we started, obviously, we didn't have all this, right? We had none of this, right? So this is just nothing. No color, no outline. Here's the original layers, right? That I started. And I used the reference. And what we started with was the sketch. We started with the sketch. Then we inked the sketch. Then we colored the sketch. Right? So when we came in, we had our ink. Went through, erased some lines. I came in, I added color. So I add these colors. Then we dropped in our shadow, right? I was like, cool. Got our shadows. Then I came in, we threw some highlights on it. Then we threw this little sparkle effect to kind of make it pop more, right? Then came in, we said, hey, we need a background. So we threw a background. I said, oh, you know, it kind of looks plain. Let me throw an outline around it. Then we threw the stars in, and we got that. And then the last thing I did, I said, hey, let's throw some flares on it. Makes it look really cool. And there we have it. We have our Soto stone. That is an equipment piece to make Dar Soto from Darate. And there we go. Got our cool little stone. We're in it. We got it. Okay. Let's see. I don't know what's going to see. Ah, it just shows the step. That's fine. Or an intermission. We could take a little intermission. There we go. Oh, my pads all fell off the wall again. That's fine. I'll just have to glue them better this time. I like how they probably fell while I was drawing the entire time. They just like, do, probably. But hey. I mean, look what we got done today. Got our cool little art piece drawn right here. I mean, it looks awesome. There we go. Got another thing created for the TCG, man. There's a lot of work I still got to put in there. But, you know, you just keep going, keep doing, keep drawing. That's it. That's all we can do, right? But it looks awesome. So, that's all I can ask for. Keep going, make things look cool. But, I should probably get off here. Take a break. Yeah. But, hey, if you guys come back and watch this, I'm always doing these art videos and, you know, giving tips if I can, creating this TCG, and that's what we're here for. And I'm always taking your guys' opinions and feedback, and those are important to me, so I always value that, because that's what's going to make the card game great, you know. But hey, you know, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're interested. I mean, it's still going to be here. Videos will still be here no matter what. And we'll keep working at this TCG, keep working hard. You know, leave a comment. If you come in later and you're watching this later, awesome. Leave me some, you know, awesome feedback on what you guys think about the cards and stuff and all that good stuff. So, I am going to get off here, but I do appreciate you guys who showed up, came, stood, watched, commented, and that's it for me, guys. I'll catch you later.